Well, hello, hello, hello. It is Latanya Washington here, your customer journey strategist, college instructor, and the owner of The Customer Culture. And today, you all, we are going to focus in inside of this masterclass on how to build a sales funnel. I'm excited for you all because when we are looking to promote our product and or our service, we need to understand the process of sales and marketing with the utilization of your social media platform. So by now, you should have a gist of what platforms you want to utilize, the offer in which you are providing to your audience, as well as later on, we're going to be showing you how to create a lead magnet, as well as part of developing your email sequences. But by now, you know what you're going to offer. By now, you should know who your audience is. If not, go and grab either the freebie on building a brand presence or gathering the last, I think I did of course, the mastermind is also available to you on building your brand or building a business. Make sure you go grab that as well. So get your notebooks out, get your ink pens, get your pencils, get your paper, whatever it is that you utilize to write down and take down notes. I'm also going to show my screen because we're going to follow through on how we begin to create our sales funnel, you all, because at the end of the day, it really starts with brand awareness. And so I'm also going to be taking you over to Canva. For me, that's how I build my content. I build my content with the utilization of Canva, as well as many times I may also use Adobe Photoshop. But at the end of the day, even if I use Adobe Photoshop just to grab maybe some images, which are nice and clean. I love Adobe Photoshop, all right? But that is there's a price to that, but Adobe Photoshop. But I want you all to really, really focus in on Canva because you can either utilize it for free or you are able to utilize Canva Pro. We already know when you go Canva Pro, it comes with its perks. All right. But I'm going to walk us through that first. So the development of your content is going to be part one. Part two is going to be the development of your lead magnet. All right. Then we're also going to look at developing your email sequences. So your lead magnet and your sequences, I'm going to show you inside of ConvertKit. All right. They called it ConvertKit. Now they're calling it Kit, but we're going to go through the process of it all. All right. So grab you some water as well. Um, get real, real comfortable because I also want you to get a great understanding of how you create your content. And then I also want you to do it on your own. Okay. Play around with it because in Canva, it saves everything for you. Okay. And so let's make sure we get started on that. Let me get a quick swig of water and I'm going to share my screen. All right. Mm, that water sure is good. All right, so let me share my screen real quick, and so we can get started with this here. All right, let me share my screen because I too want to go through this PowerPoint with you all, and I want you all to begin to see some things here. You should be able to see my screen. I'm going to leave it looking just like this because I want you to see what my Canva, everything inside of it looks like. Of course, I can share it in a form of just a presentation, but I want you to see my stuff on the side over to the left as well. All right. So let's talk a little bit about how to build a sales funnel, you all, because at the end of the day, this is also part of your marketing strategy. All right. It's part of your sales as well. Because when we talk about a sales funnel, you all, it starts, as I always talk about, it starts first with brand awareness. And we're talking about utilizing these things on your social media platforms. By now, you should know what it is that you're offering to your audience. By now, you should know who your audience is. And by now, you should know what platform your audience is on. If not, I want you to go back and grab the mastermind on how to build your brand or how to build your business. I believe that's what the last mastermind was on. You also have available to you um, how to build a brand presence. That's available to you via my freebie. All right. You can go to my link tree backslash Latanya Washington, grab it, but I'll make sure that I put that link up here as well so you're able to see it. All right. So let's go here, you all, because this is our second phase. Remember, I'm going to start here first, and we're going to start in Canva. Canva.com, because I want you all to begin to understand how you need to begin to create your content as you're building your brand awareness. Okay. So let's look at this here. I'm going to go to my next slide here. And let's begin to look at a little bit of a foundation, right? So first up, what is a sales funnel? All right. Here, you all, it's letting you know that a sales funnel, it is the structure. It is your framework that you are building for a pathway for potential customers to go through a process from A to B to C. And we're talking about brand awareness. We're talking about interest and consideration. We're talking about all of these things with the ultimate goal on your end for them to purchase something from you, for them to get step into a membership that you may have. Whatever your end goal for them, that's what a sales funnel is all about. And we utilize these things in particularly in conjunction with our social media platforms. Just like I tell my students, we're on our social media platforms, and inside of each profile should be a definition of what you offer, who you're offering it to, and then in the right at the bottom, there's always a link. There's always a link on each and every one of the platforms where people are able to click on to, go to, and be able to go through what we call either a lead magnet that you have there already set in place. It can lead them to a YouTube channel. It can lead them to your website. Once again, it all depends on where you want them to go. All right. So when we're talking about developing our sales funnel, you all, our ultimate goal is to get people from knowing more about who we are to finally purchasing or becoming, as I said previously, a member or watching a video, whatever you want them to do. And it is a framework. It is such a framework, you all, and such a structure and such a system to where you're out and about doing your own thing, and people are still able to see and absorb what it is that you have, and they're going through a process, all from A to B to C, all the way to Z. Whatever you want them to do, whatever it is that you want to put in place, they go through the funnel. Isn't that nice? All right. So now let's look at this here because I want you all to begin to understand the process. Now I'm showing you my screen as well, you all, and I'm showing all of these details here because I want you to know I built this in Canva. All right. And so here, you all, let's kind of look at the first part of building a brand. Well, not building a brand, but building your sales funnel, because this is what it looks like. All right. And it looks exactly like this. Starts out with brand awareness. My brand awareness comes from, what did I say previously? It comes from the content. How do I begin to build my content? Where do I go to build my content? What do I say in my content? The content should always be on what you are offering, whether you want to educate someone, whether you are looking to inspire people, whether you are looking to entertain them. It should always be a hook. It should always be a spark. It should look good. It should have your colors that you want to represent, with the ultimate goal of getting people to go from externally getting to know you. Because on these social media platforms, you have to understand you're not here alone. There are other people that are here as well. And so, how do I begin to get people from externally getting to meet me, from the content, going through their feed, to ultimately getting them to my lead magnet? All right. So, we're going to be looking at ways in which you are able to develop that content, you all. And then we are going to go to our next thing. So when we talk about brand awareness, you all, from the content, what is the brand awareness? All right. So let me take my glasses off real quick so I can see my screen just a little bit more as well. So when we talk about that, you all, we have to look at my product, we have to look at my service, we have to look at what do I want to say in which I can begin to share me with my audience so they will begin to get to know me. So, do I want to begin to even create content that's going to share my story? What is the content? But everything needs to lead you all to my offer, what I provide. Because remember, what is a brand? A brand is how people perceive you to be. So I cannot be an individual that says I teach the customer journey and all I do is post things in regards to dogs, in regards to toys, anything that has absolutely nothing to do with me sharing information on helping people understand the customer journey or how to build their very own digital journeys. But this is why we're here today. How to build a sales funnel. That's part of the digital journey. So I always need to make sure that I'm creating content. Now, as part of that content, and as part of me building brand awareness, there are different parts of content. Content consists of this, you all. It consists of images. It could be you taking a selfie of yourself, but having something on there that it could be an inspiration text on top of that selfie. It could be a beautiful picture of something, but once again, I'm putting a text to something, or in my messaging that is over to the side where I'm able to give a little bit more of a description. I'm still talking about what I offer. It could be B-roll. What is B-roll? It could be me taking my literally taking my cell phone out and about in these streets. I could be out shopping and I could be taking video of anything that is there that is going to really, really be something that I want to add in as part of my brand awareness, as part of my content. That's part of B-roll. I'm just going out and I'm filming stuff, and later on, I'm going to utilize it as part of building brand awareness. Once again, I could put some text to it, or it could be something in regards to outdoors. Some of you all really, really love the outdoor scenery. Some of you love going to the beach, the calming thing. Some of us, we sit in the classroom. All right. So that's B-roll, creating images, creating an infographic. That means I'm just giving details. I'm giving numbers on an infographic. I'm educating people in regards to that. And so this is the reason why when we sit down and we're creating brand awareness of what it is that we offer, we really have to take out time and say, what do I want to provide to people? All right. So that's where it begins. The next phase, you all, we have to begin to look at my little thing is, see, this is why I wanted you all to see this as well, because I want you all to see you can also I can create and I can move this and I can make this a little bit bigger. You all see how I can do this here? So my little N, where's my little N? I need to make this a little bit bigger here. There we go. You see how I just did that? I did all of that in Canva, y'all. All right. I can move this over. However, I want to do, let's see, I want to keep that like that, but I need to move this over. See, I just took that and I just moved it over. All right. Okay. I want to make sure that I did that right. I can even move this to where I need this to go right as well. All right. See how I did that? Well, let me make sure I fix this right. I need this to move down and get, there we go. Did I get it straight? Let me straighten this out. You just got to sit around. You just got to sit around and play with it and make sure it gets in the way you want it to go. Did I straighten it? I'll straighten it a little bit later on as well. All right, but that's how I begin to do that. So the next phase, you all, as I say, see here, the next one is interest and consideration. So this means right here, you all, when people see my feed, they see my post inside of their feed on any platform, because all platforms will begin to, once you open up that app, it's going to show you a feed of information of people that are also utilizing the platform. What begins to happen as well, the more it begins to see that you have a tendency to look at someone's information, what begins to do, the algorithm will begin to show you more and more of that individual's information. All right. So what has just happened is that because you've actually looked at that person's information, or someone is always checking out your information, and the algorithm is beginning to show more and more of you inside of their platform, it's telling it, the platform, that you're beginning to show some interest. And you have a tendency to always look at someone's feed or that their profile. All right. So that means right here, you guys, as it says here, it begins, interested prospects move to that next stage. So they've gone from the stage of knowing you or beginning to know you, or that external trigger begins to occur. They see you in the feed. Okay. Now they show interest. So now what begins to happen, they begin to go to your profile, where the algorithm begins to show your information inside of the feed. That's what happens, you all. And so for you all, you want to begin to evaluate, okay, I got to get this algorithm working for me too. Now there's another process with that, as well as I need to get my audience beginning to check for me. That means when they scroll, okay, anytime I get a notification on me, I might go live on the platform, or they just automatically are wondering, oh, what's going on? What's happening with Jane Doe? What are they talking about? All right. So what it does is, from brand awareness to interest and consideration, that's the next stage. You see, we're talking about the sales funnel. Because even when we are on our social media platform and we're talking about sales and marketing, and we want people to begin to go through the process from point A, I'm taking you through from point A to point B to point C. See all these here? I'm taking people through the process. And I'm being strategic and intentional on doing it. But everything's going to start with my content, you all. I got to start with my content. So at this point, they're showing a clear interest. All right. Now, what begins to happen next, you all, is they go through what we call a conversion. This is where we begin to get our potential customer, you all, to take some action. And they go through the lead magnet, or the landing page that we should have in place. In here, we're going to create a lead magnet. So now we're taking them through the next phase, right? But guess what? They took action. When they took action, that means they have given me their information because I'm either offering them something for free. Remember how I said before, having a free 99, which needs to be, you all, it has to be something of value. It has to be something that people can utilize, they desire it, and they want it. All right. Because if we don't provide them with something that is of value to them, they're not coming back again for something new. All right. So you want to be very, very mindful of that. So we call that the conversion. We call it a lead magnet. We call it utilization of a landing page. That means I'm giving people something to get something from them. All right. That means the potential customer is taking action and makes a decision to provide their information to receive your free 99, or it could be even be a coupon. All right. So let us fix this even here. Let's see how I got. See, all of this you all was created inside of Canva. And I wanted to do some things here so you are able to see exactly how it operates. You can create all of this stuff, you all, in Canva. All right. Let's see here. Make a decision. It may be too close to one. There we go, right there. See how we create this stuff here? And there are templates in here as well. So what happens after that, you all, inside of the sales funnel, we're showing you what it looks like. Next thing begins to happen, you all, once they provide you their information, because you've created all of these things inside of what I say I utilize ConvertKit, they'll receive an email confirmation, right? We're going to go through all that process. And inside the email confirmation, they just need to confirm that they are okay with you obtaining their information to get. All right. So now, once they confirm that through that email confirmation, now they'll get whatever was that you said you were going to give them. Either it was the coupon, either it was the free 99, it could be access into a community, whatever your ultimate goal was inside of there. Okay. Then of course, once you have the emails, you all, because the goal is we have to get our potential customers off of the social media platforms and get them into our email database so we can provide and what we begin to do, what we call email marketing. That means now I have an email, I have a phone number, and I can stay in constant contact with you or with them. So now we're building what? We're able to build a relationship. I'm also then able to provide other services, other products that I have available to them. And we call that many times a tripwire. All right. We're going to get into that a little bit later, but they're triggers that we begin to put in place. All right. With that tripwire, now we're either to provide people with other products. It could be what we call our higher value product, or it could be our main product that has maybe a bigger price tag to it. All right. This is part of our email sequence. We're going to go through this in part in our ConvertKit, or we can cross sell something to people because maybe they didn't want that high ticket just yet, but they're okay with paying or purchasing something that may not be, it's not as expensive, but it's still something that's of value to them. All right. What are we still doing? We're still building our relationships. All right. And then what we begin to do, you all, as part of the sales funnel, we begin to create other emails, follow-up emails. We can inspire people. We can encourage. We can provide resources. We set up our time here. Do we want them to, do we want to send out an email daily? Do we want to send out an email every 2 days? Now, we have to be very, very mindful that when we're sending out emails that we don't become spammy, all right? Because you can send out so many emails that people start to get tired of you. So you have to be very, very mindful of your actual consumer, right? And so you want to actually map that time out for them as well. And you want to begin to always, you all, in building the relationships, you always want to build, you want to have follow-up emails, all right? depending on what it is that you want to say to them. This is what the sales funnel will do to you. And without you always sitting down and say, oh, wait a minute, I forgot to send out an email today. It's already provided in the sequence of emails that you've selected to do. All right. And another thing is, after people even purchase something, we always want to remember that I guess I cannot say enough about developing those relationships, you all. Because even after a person purchases something, we want to know, did it work out for you? How is it going? You know, we want to follow up with questions like that. Is there anything else that I can do for you to make sure that you are doing well with that actual product? As a matter of fact, have you used the product? You know, what are your thoughts? Good. Okay. Are you okay with providing me with a testimonial? And so this is all part of it. And we continue to build the relationship, you all. All right. So now, first things first, how do I begin to create the right content for my building of my own brand awareness? Here are the resources, once again, that we talk about what it is that I use, you all. I use Canva. I use Adobe Photoshop. If I want to utilize my phone and I want to begin to create content on my phone, I use Snapseed, I use InShot, I use CapCut. I didn't put CapCut on here, but CAPSH, no, CAPCUT, CapCut. They're different tools out there, and there are always tools coming through, you all, that you can begin to utilize to create your content. All right. Now, once again, what is content? Content are images. Content is video. Content is B-roll. Content can be a quote card. Content can be an infographic. That is what content is. So we want to make sure that we're doing all of these and we're building a foundation, you all, because we need to make sure that whatever it is that I'm offering to my audience, especially if I'm looking to launch something or I'm looking to, launch a campaign or run a campaign, everything needs to be consistent going to that particular offer. All right. And we always want to make sure that we have a CTA. It means our call to action. What is that? It is click link in the bio, send a DM with certain word, or tag a friend, save this, share this. You all, this is all part of marketing. But at the end of the day, we have to build brand awareness, and it comes from the content in which we are looking to provide to our particular audience. All right. Once again, where did I build this? I built this presentation, you all, right here in Canva. All right. I have Canva Pro. All right. So now let's begin to look at in our first part of this segment is building content or building our brand awareness. Okay. I want us to begin to do this, and let me stop sharing this real quick so I can see you all. I want us to begin doing this first because we got to take out time to build a good looking piece of content that will want people to be interested and to build awareness. All right. So I want to show you some things on how I build, and you'll be able to see my inside of my Canva. I use it all the time. Let me share my screen once again. Let me go to my page so I can show you my screen. Okay, and what it begins to look like, you all. Let me share my screen. Did I stop sharing my screen? Let me share my Zoom screen. Where's my Zoom screen? Okay, here's my Zoom up here. Let me go back to my Zoom. Do, 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 do. Nope, that's not it. Hold on. Where's my Zoom? There's my Zoom. There's my Zoom. Is that my Zoom? I want to make sure that you all see my screen. All right, let me share. There is so much on this screen. It is crazy, ridiculous. So I think I can get out of this one and get back to this. Okay, let me share this here so you can see my screen. All right, let's share this real quick. All right, you all. Once again, I want you all to see my screen and what's here. All right. For me, you all, I do have Canva Pro. All right. And so with this, you all see this right here. This here is where I can literally create a design. So if you see all of my different type of designs, let me begin to show you. You can create literally anything. Now, I want to begin to show you all some things here from your YouTube. If you're looking to create, you can create content you all on your phone. I can sit still and I can literally begin to create some content on my phone, and then I can upload it into my Canva, okay? And then I can utilize all of the designs here and begin to make it look good. All right, because you still want it to look good and you want to begin to utilize your actual brand colors. All right, so how do I begin to upload everything you all see here? Here's your home page. If I'm looking to create anything, here it is right here. You see here what begins to happen. Say I want to create an Instagram post. I'm going to type in here Instagram post. All right. It's going to give me the proper size. It's going to give me all the sizes here. You all see all this information right here. It's going to show me all of this information, whatever it is that I'm looking to create. And I'm now able to create. And what it's going to also do, it's going to provide me with some templates. So I can get a little bit of an idea on what it is that I might want to create. All right. You all see these here? I've used these before, but remember, I can always jump in and I can change my colors. All right. And so with that, let me go back to my actual template. And with this, you all, you got to really, really just simply take your time, make a decision on what you want to create, and really just say, okay, I'm gonna really take out a day and I'm gonna really, really start looking at all of this stuff. All right. So now what I did is I just pulled all of my templates, the appearance of all of the templates right here. Now it'll, format, style, my language, theme, pictures, and I'm going to show you some other stuff that are things that are here, you guys, that you can begin to look at with the utilization of Canva. So now we just simply need to make a decision. Do I just want to create something as a post? Do I want to use Instagram stories? You all see this here? Because it's going to give you the right size for the stories. See, this is what stories would look like if I just wanted to create Instagram stories. If I wanted to create Instagram reels, what it does is it gives me templates and it also gives me the right size. All right. Facebook post, anything that I want to create, you all, is inside of Canva. I just need to know, what am I trying to create? Once again, what I love about this is that it provides you with the right size. Now, wonderful. It's all wonderful, but you still want to make sure that it looks good. And you want to begin to also utilize your own brand colors. All right. So let me go here real quick and begin to show you some things that I already have that I've already created. And I want you all to begin to see some things here as well. So as you all see, what is my pattern? My pattern is you all begin to see the same colors of stuff. See colors? What did I do in order to create my different colors as we're creating? What it is, as you all see, anytime you see a crown like this here, that means it is, I have Canva Pro. All right. And so with this, you all, I'm able to create my different brand colors here from brand kit, I can like, okay, this was something that I created a long time ago, but I want you all to begin to look at what is available to you here. So say I want to create a new design. All right. Let me find something that I want to create real quick. I want to create a post. Let's go from scratch here. Okay. Here I'm going to create a post. All right. So what I can do is let's scroll down and see what I really might want to use. I'm going to just create something that is a simple post. Let's look at this here. All right. So what it is here, as you see, I can click on this. As you see here, I can easily get rid of her. All right. Now, because I've uploaded, remember I told you from my phone, I can take pictures and I can walk around with my phone, take pictures. I can then upload it onto my computer and then transfer it over into Canva. How do I transfer it over into Canva? I just upload. That means right here, I can just upload files. All right. If I'm on here, I can always just upload it from my computer and I can upload it into Canva. Just like every picture here, it was an actual upload. I uploaded these pictures here from, I utilized Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop, and I just uploaded. Aren't these gorgeous? These came from Adobe Photoshop, you all. They're stock. Let me just say they're stock. And this was other things that I had going on as well. And then I just simply uploaded. All right. Now, so say for instance, let's get rid of this person here and say I just want to put my picture in here. So what I can do is I can then get rid of her picture and put my picture in here. Of course, I'm going to get rid of all of this here because I don't want that, right? So say say you made a mistake. Okay, what you can do is you see this arrow here, you can go in and put that right back there again. Okay? So I want you all to begin to see what is actually available to you. Okay. Now, of course, I don't want to use that. I want to utilize my own. So what I'll do is it'll give me a listing here on the different headings, subheadings, body. So I'm going to grab heading. You all see how it popped up here? Popped up there, but I'm going to move it up. It's a whole lot going on this here. So all I'm going to do is move the heading up here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and just say, what should I say? I'm just going to say, Latanya Washington. I'm just going to type in my name. I could type in anything in here, but I also want to get rid of these words here. Okay. Did I spell my name right? All right. So now it could be, I just want to use my name. Let me put that. Let me get rid of that. Should be an N. Did I spell my name right, you all? I think I did. Yep, that's it. Now say, I don't like that font. You see here? I can always go in and utilize fonts that are already provided to me and change my font. See that? So I went in and I changed my font. I can also just move things around, make this a little bit bigger. You see how this line starts to move? All I can do is I can increase it or I can make it smaller. That's how you create that. All right. Now, of course, these ain't my brand colors. I don't want to say any of this. I could say, what do I want to use here? I'm going to say the champ. The champ is here. Okay. That's what I put there. Now, I may not want to say anything here, so I can actually, let's see. Helping, I could say, guiding entrepreneurs through digital journeys. All right. Let's make sure I spelled it correctly. Did I spell it correctly? Yep, I spelled that correctly. That's actually cute, huh? Okay, we all see we still got a lot of stuff going on here. I don't know if I really like this, but I'm going to play around with this real quick. But I'm going to show you exactly what I'm about to do. Well, I don't want that. I don't know what it is because it's gold. I'm going to get rid of that stuff. I'm going to get rid of that, but I'm about to add my own stuff in. All right? Because I still want stuff to be I want it to look like what my colors are. As you see behind me, I'm blue and coral, right? And cream. So what it is, what I've also done is you can also create your own brand color palette. So you all see here, I have different palettes here. Let me kind of show you the different palettes. Because I'm working on something else for the customer culture, I'm working on new palettes that I want to create, all right? And so I can actually just go in and begin to create new palettes. You all see how I did this? I can go right here and I can create any new palette that I want to create. I can create black, add that there. I can create that. I can add this, whatever I want to add. And then all I'm gonna do is tell it to save. All right. Even though them are not my colors, but you then want to click save because you want to utilize that palette maybe in the future. Now, what it is you never have to go back and be like, oh, what color did I have? What color palette did I use before? What am I using? Okay, now you already have it in order. So now what you begin to do, you all, I'm going to cancel that because I don't want those, because now I've already created my palette and I have this. What I can begin to do is say, oh, change all these colors to the palette, my colored palette. And it begins to shuffle it around for you until you get to the colors that you want. Isn't that nice? Okay. I don't like what this is, so I'm going to get rid of that. Okay. And that's how you begin to do. Change it to whatever it is that you want it to look like. I'm going to get rid of that too, because I don't want that. It's not part of who I am. All right. Now, let me show you all something else. Now, this is all in Canva Pro. Now, say I want to remove my background. Okay. So what I can do here, remember, this is Canva Pro. So this is here. I can tell it to remove the background. So now what happened? Ta-da! It blended in with the background. This is how you begin to build your content, you all. Ain't that cute, cool how it does? Now, here's the key. I can leave it looking just like this. However, I want more because as you all see, I love flowers, right? And I also may want it to fit in with what it is that people remember me by, right? And so I can then go into what we call elements, you all. See our elements right here? I can go into elements and start to search stuff out. So I can say a flower border. If you all see my videos and things like that, you already see I have particular flower border that I love. Where is it? It's right here. Okay. So I can then go in and I can add in this flower border. I could add in a flower border because that's part of my brand identity. All right. Now, I might also want to put it here. I might want to put it here. I want to put it here. So what I can then do, I clicked on it. Now I can duplicate it. See how I do this? I duplicated that. And what it allows me to do, it also will allow me to move it around. You start to see the difference. I want you all to begin to see the difference between just plain Jane. Let me get rid of this. See, you want to take out your time and create. I've taken it from plain Jane to something a little bit more fancy. Now, because I've had it there, remember, I can always go to back to this arrow and add stuff in. All right. If I want to add something else to this, or I want to say, okay, let's kind of see what it looks like if I made me a little bit transparent. I can take this transparency and I can move it around to make it strong, or I can make it look like that. Okay. I want you all to see what you can build with the utilization of Canva. All right. All right. So now you all, what else can I add up in here that I might want to add in my text, in my elements? I can add anything. I can go to my border and I can add anything else in here that I might want to add in. I'll probably add a little bit more. Let's see what else I might want to add. I might want to add one more. So let's just add one more up in here. Remember, let me scoot this down so you can see how I can move this. Let me move this right here so you can kind of see how I can then go in and move this around. Where is my, hold on. Here it is. You always, this is how you're able to move stuff around, you all. You need that this little thing right here. Okay. So now I might want to add that, right? I might want to add another flower here. See it? That's how you begin to just create your content, however you want it to look. Now, maybe I want my picture to be bigger. I just take my little arrows and I make my picture bigger. I can make it smaller. I can widen it out. I can do however it wants to do. Now, remember, when I make it wider, it's going to take some of this stuff away. All right, the top part. But I can always build it to where I ensure that I get all of me inside of here, right? If I want to flip it around horizontally or vertically, see how I just did? Horizontally. So I'm looking that direction. Oh, ain't Canva wonderful? But I want you all to begin to understand when you're building your content, you want to begin to utilize things like this. All right. And so you can go in and you can add a whole lot of stuff up in here. I want you all to begin to see here as well. If I wanted to doodle, as they say, I can go to draw. Say I wanted to use blue. I'm going to utilize the blue. See that little pencil now? I can do however I want. I don't like doodling like that because, we ain't going to do that. So I don't want that. So I can either go and I can erase it, or I can always go back and I can utilize my undo button right there. All right. So that's how you guys, and then of course I'm done with that. So then I want to get away from that. So this is how you begin to utilize and begin to develop your own content on your Canva. Now I can also go in and I can create a photo quote. I can create whatever it is that I want to create in my Canva. And then what I can begin to do, now I've created all my content for the week, right? Once again, if I want to utilize Canva Pro, you all, let me see here. All right, say I'm done with this. Now what I want to do is I want to always save your stuff. It's going to save it for you inside of Canva. But of course, when you want to put it on your social media platforms, you might want to save it on your computer. You want to do whatever it is that you want to do with it. But as you all see here, if I'm complete with this actual piece of content, now I can download it. Now remember, what did I say? I'm in Canva Pro. All right. I can download it here and I can save it. It's going to download for me. All right. I'm done with that part. But what I can also do here, let me show you what it also does for me here in Canva Pro. You see all these other things that I can actually utilize. I can actually create, and it's providing a whole lot more for you now, you all. I can utilize my social media platforms and send it over there. If I wanted to connect it to my Instagram, I can look at here. I can schedule my post from my desktop there. I can also I can schedule my post here, which is actually as well, it's just like a calendar. All right. So I can actually schedule my post on LinkedIn. I can schedule my post on Instagram. I can schedule my post. I think also I can schedule my post on Facebook. What else did it say here? Yep. X, I can schedule my post. I can click on see all, and here's schedule. Show you what schedule looks like. So say I created this post. Of course, I created this post and I wanted to schedule it on, let's see, I got to select a channel. Say I want to just select it and put it on LinkedIn. All I then do is collect LinkedIn. I need to put in my text. I could say the champ is here. All right. Then if I wanted to schedule it, I'm going to click schedule. It's going to make sure that you are connected to your LinkedIn or any of your accounts. So you just need to put in your password, you guys, and you have to sign in, and voila, it's going to schedule it for me. All right. So those are the things I want you all to begin to understand that you can do. It's prepare my design, but I don't want to schedule it on there. But I want you all to begin to understand the things that are available to you in Canva. All right. Once again, it'll save everything that you've created. You see all this stuff here? Everything that you create, it is simply awesome. It is awesome, you all. I want you all to see what's available to you. I create video on my phone many times, and then I will put it right back over here, and I will make sure that I utilize everything. Now, another thing that I want you all to see, this is in, of course, the Canva Pro. That means apps here. That means I can literally create. Oh my goodness. This is amazing. I can literally create text that might be upside down. I can create a whole lot of stuff, you all. And it is called, let me see if I can actually show you something here that I like to use. I do like to use. Do I like to think many times I like to use, let me see if I can see my fonts. Do, 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 do. Let me see if I type in text. I don't want text to audio. I want to do a text. Let's try text maker. You all see all the things that are available to you here. So if I wanted to create a type of text, I can actually just say I want to use this. My projects, I'm going to go here. Let me go to this here, the one that I just created. All right. See how this takes up some time, you all. So say I want to edit this. It's saying edit in there because I actually had it inside of my thing. So say I want to create something here, and I wanted to put it on my I want to put it on here. So say I'm gonna say the champ is here. All right. Say I wanted to use that, but I want to use a certain type of effect. I want the, see what it does? The strength of it. And I don't know what that strength is for, but say I want to angle it a little bit. Say I want to do something like the shadows, the inner shadow, the outer shadow. I want to increase this a little bit. You see what it does for you? I want to make it a little bit transparent. I want you all to begin to see what it'll do for you. I want to utilize maybe a gradient. You can do all of these things, you guys, in Canva. I want to change the color. Maybe I want this to be, give me a, let's look at some other colors here. I want it to be, let me see if I can get here. Come on. Oh, I probably got to go this way. Come on, colors. Say I want it to be, I'm just making up a color. I don't even know the colors I got. Okay, that's what it's giving me. I wanted to change it to that color. All right. I can do whatever it is that I want and then add to design. Quality. It's gonna see. So it'll add to that design. So I literally can I can go back in, I can get rid of that and say the champ is here, right here. Of course, I would change my colors, but I can do a lot of stuff. These are a lot of the new things that have become available to us in um, Canva Pro, you all. But I wanted you all to see this. Now, say as well that I wanted to write something when I'm utilizing my social media posts and I wanted to write something and I didn't know what to write about. What it also allows you to do is, let's move this over to the side. Let's move this out the way. We don't want that anymore. We're going to close that. So say I want to create a message. All right. I don't know what to put here, but I want to let people know that I want to talk about guiding entrepreneurs through the digital journey. So what I can ask it to do, provide me, where was this at? On social, on Instagram, or was it on Instagram? Provide me with a title, no, a caption and message to entrepreneurs looking to create a digital journey. All right. Now it's going to generate for me. You all see why Canva Pro is nice? Sometimes you got to invest in what it is. All right. Gave me a caption. Embark on your digital odyssey. Now, I probably wouldn't utilize that. Unleash the power of innovation. So I'll probably tell it to create me something different. Or Lisa gave me something and I can always go back in and change things up to make it sound like me. You all see what it did for me? It did it exactly what I asked it to do. All right. All right. More like this. See, it starts to give me something more different. Turn visions into reality. This, but okay. This, but I never used this one before. This, but entrepreneurs. Let's see what it says. Let's see what it'll do for me. This, but entrepreneurs. Chart your course, transfers ideas into impact. All right. And so what you can then do is when you are creating your message for your content on your social media platforms, you can save it and you can develop a Google. Well, see how it just inserted all that stuff here because I told it to. But you can also save it. So let me get rid of that because I don't want you to see it. You can also save the information and put it in your Google Docs. All right. So as you're creating your content on your content calendars, you all, now you are developing all the content that you need as you're building brand awareness. This is why I utilize my Canva. All right. And so for this, you all, you just got to sit around many times and you got to play around with it just to see how you want to begin to utilize this for yourself and to make sure that when you're building brand awareness, when you're creating all of this information for you to build on your social media platforms, you have built your content. You've utilized Canva.com, whether it's plain Canva, which is free, or you utilize Canva Pro, which gives you so many other bells and whistles, as I showed you, and you can begin to develop the content that way. All right. And so I want you all to stop there because first things first is I want you to begin to look at, let me go back to my share my screen. I want you all to begin to look at how you can begin to build so many things with the utilization of Canva. All right. And so then what you begin to create, you all, as we see here, we create what we call our content calendar week. What am I going to say on Sunday? What do I want to say on Monday? On Monday, am I going to create a video? Do I want to just create a photo quote? Do I want to create a video? It could be a GIF, stuff that goes back and forth. I could create all of those things in Canva. And now I can begin to build my content calendar. All right. This is how we begin to put things in place, you all. And so I can go through my entire week without even worrying about anything. I still need to engage with my audience. There are things I need to create, but and make sure that I'm engaging. But this is how we begin to build our brand awareness. It starts here. We need the content. As we say, content, you all, is king. And so we want to make sure that we create our content calendar. Now, for our content calendar, we can use later.com. We could create a content calendar on Planoly, Planoly.com. We can create our content calendar inside Canva, as you all saw, and I can put it on my different platforms. I can build it in Meta Facebook, .business.com. I can create my content calendar. I can even just create it on in Google Drive. But I need to make sure that I have things available and for my own, as I say, my own sanity, because you can't continue to just go by every day like, oh, let me build a piece of content today. Oh, let me do this. This is part of your sales funnel. Once again, it's about being intentional and it's about being strategic in what it is that you're building. All right. And so that's it for part one. All right. Part two is going to be building our sales, our lead magnet. And we're going to build our lead magnet inside of ConvertKit. You all ready? Let's make it happen. All right. I'll talk to you guys again soon. It's your girl, Latanya. If you have questions for me, do not hesitate to contact me at ask@latanyawashington.com or go to one of my social media platforms, leave me a DM and let me know what your question is. And I will be happy to get back to you. And let's make it happen. All right. That's it for today. Take care. Bye-bye.